Okay, I believe I am live. Let me know if I actually am, if you can see me and hear me. I am using new software. This is called Restream. So I'm using a new um, streaming app today. So we'll see how this goes. Let's see, I can show. Okay. Ooh, can I change this? Make this so maybe it's not quite as big. Well, no. Okay. I can move this around. That's cool. Okay. So let me make sure let me make sure I actually am live. Okay, it says I'm live. Yep, it looks like I am. Okay, good. It's working. Okay, Paul says I see. Here, good. Okay, let me say hi to everybody. So let's see how this works. Okay. So again, this is new a new app for streaming. So I don't know. It looks a little bit different than StreamYard did. But Linda said hi, so hello. We got Rick, Charger Mopar from Miami, Florida. Hello. Paul is here. Hello. Sandy is also from Florida. Hello, Sandy. Donna Ray. Hello. Our pull-up expert, Donna Ray. She's been doing great with the pull-ups. Coach Eden's from Mesa, Arizona. Ooh, hot there, right? All right. I think I am caught up on comments. Go ahead and say hi in the chat. And if you have any questions, put a Q in front and you can ask me any questions. It's just me again tonight. And I don't necessarily have any kind of a set topic or anything to talk about. So I'm just going to kind of talk about some things. I am in the middle of a fast right now. I am at, let's see, 56 hours. So I last ate on Monday at noon. So yeah, I'm at 56 hours fasted here. I plan on probably eating sometime tomorrow. So Carnivore Junkie is here from Port Boulevard, Texas. All right. Good evening. Good to see you. So yeah, anyway, I'm 56 hours fasted, looking to get at least to 72 tomorrow before I will eat. So that's where I'm at there. I've been doing really well with the fasting, pretty much a fast every week. And I've been seeing differences, some on the scale, but definitely just in the body measurements, the some of the belly fat that I still had. I have seen a little bit on the scale though as well with weight, which is something that I haven't seen in the last year or two, really. So that's good to see changes there. But I definitely the belly is definitely thinning out more. So and that's a big thing. So the fasting has definitely been working great for me. Something that I was not doing more than your standard intermittent fast before that 16 18-hour fast, maybe 24-hour fast if I only ate once a day, that type of thing. And now it's been going much better. So I'm curious what everybody thinks about the um the chat messages on the screen here. It's a little different than StreamYard. It's set to large. So I don't know if that's large enough that you can see everybody's comments. And then I guess the other thing I'm wondering, the color isn't the best in the world. So I wonder, oh, Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Maybe that's the way to go. That looks much better. Do you like this better than what it looked like before? I see, Rick, that you can see them, so that's good. I kind of like this better. I think it's easier to see. So let me know if you think that's like this better than what it was previously. Paul says looks good to me. Okay, good. I'll keep it like this for now, I think. Um, yeah, I don't know how else to change it, but anyway, I got to get used to using this new app, I guess. So, um, yeah. All right. So, talked a little bit about the fast. Karen is here. Hello, Karen. Good to see you this evening. Thomas is here. Okay. He says he likes it. Good. Those can see. Yep. All right. Okay, so I talked about the fast a little bit. Um, I guess I probably have said before a little bit about how I've been mostly eating beef. Um, and I guess I want to expand on that just a little bit more because I I've been even more so probably beef with a little bit of eggs here and there over the last few weeks. And I think that for me at least, I'm noticing even better things with that. I seem to have a little bit more energy. I seem to feel full longer and so forth. And like when I eat like other foods like chicken, pork, fish, seafood, that kind of stuff. Um, so for me, it's been pretty much beef. Now, am also trying to cut expenses right now. So I've been doing a lot of ground beef. I do have a little bit of steak here that I might have a steak every once in a while, maybe once a week or even less, but it's going to be mostly ground beef for a while here. And that seems to be really working pretty well. Peter is here. Hello, Peter. I think this is kind of weird. I wonder if there's a way I can change the way the comments show up here. I guess I'm just used to how StreamYard used to be, and this is a little bit different. I don't know. When I click on a comment, I should say, instead of the menu thing over here. I really like this menu, the way it shows up. I know I over here using my cursor, and you can't even see that at your end, but I can. Oh well. Where was I? Here we go. So Thomas says, feeling depressed, many thoughts running my head. I hope you're okay, Thomas. Do what you need to do to just kind of calm yourself, relax a little bit. And if you think you need help, you need to talk to somebody. There are places that you can call. You can even call me. So email me if you don't have my number. I'll give you my number. We can talk. I know depression can be bad, but um, stick through it, man. You're a good guy. I know you can get through it. All right. So, yeah. Coach Eden says, congrats on the fast. Great job. Thanks. It's been going really well, actually. And like I said, or I didn't say this, I guess, but I'm actually not feeling hungry right now. So 56 hours, that's pretty good. Yes. I hope you're doing well, Thomas. So reach out to me if you need to. We can talk. Where are we? Coach Eden says that ground beef is a staple of her diet, it's kind of becomes a staple of my diet too because it's a lot cheaper than steak. So I'm kind of disappointed because the one giant grocery store, like a couple weeks ago, they had sale for $3.99 a pound. Apparently, over this past weekend, they had it on sale again, this time for $3.49 a pound, and I didn't pay attention and didn't see the ad, and it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing only, and I missed out on it. Or I would have gotten more, got some for $3.49. That would have been great. Let's see. What else is everybody saying? So Peter says he doesn't eat a lot of ground beef. He prefers steaks. I prefer steaks too. It's just they're more expensive. So chicken thighs, legs and wings, pork chops, ribs, roasts, eggs, bacon, sausage, duck, seafood, etc. Very well rounded. A lot of different things you can eat. Like I said, I've been feeling really good with the beef and I seem to stay full longer. So I'm sticking with that right now, but I'm going mostly with ground beef. I do really like chicken thighs and chicken wings, though. I like the skin on them. Adds a little bit of fat, because they're a little bit leaner without that. But I haven't had much of them lately. I did have chicken wings like a week ago, I think. But yeah. Isabel, hello. So Thomas says he's just thinking strongly about stopping his channel. I really like your channel. Like other people were saying, I like the recipe video things that you've been doing and so forth. I know you do a lot of interviews with people on your channel. Yeah, Peter says, Thomas, please don't stop your channel. Me and so many other folks love you, and you're a terrific and unique channel, and it's helping so many folks too. Yeah, I know it's a lot of work. I get it. But, it does help people too, even if it just helps one person with at one video, one person per video, it's still helping somebody out there. Oh no. Rick, you got to let us know. It might be in the comments down here as I go down. What happened? How did Ferrigno Freedom ban you from his channel? That's crazy. Yes, I'm a Coach Eden's. What? What happened? Oh, here we go. He says, none of my comments showed today. I saw Thomas and Peter there. I know instantly I am banned when I comment and no one responds. I wonder what happened though. Was it an accident or did you really do something? That seems crazy, Rick. All right. Just reading some of the comments here with Thomas. Oh, I did not get to see this. I was fairly busy today with work. But Rick says he had a great interview with Christopher Brandlin today. Nice. I got to go back to your channel, Thomas, and see that. Um, I don't know what this guy is talking about. I'm not sure whose shopping spree he's even talking about. Um, but okay. Okay. Rick says he emailed Dante. So it'll be interesting to hear what happened. Yeah, I saw that, Thomas. That name sound familiar though. I don't know who it is, but they had some interesting comments in the chat. Is he somebody that tends to mess in carnivore chats? Because I remember that name before. I don't think he's been on my channel before, but maybe other channels. I don't know. Uh-oh. That could be dangerous. Poor, poor Rick. Never know what Milton's going to do. Yeah, Don Ray says, I wish I would have noticed the round table had definitely been on. I would love to be on Thomas's channel too. I know you've interviewed me once before, but I would come back on again. Obviously I was busy. It's tough because I work during the day, so I miss a lot of earlier in the day stuff. But yeah. Oh, here's Peter talking about Dante's live stream. Yeah, Rick, for some strange reason, we couldn't see your comments on Dante's live. I'm sure it was a mistake, and Dante would have only banner block you. Yeah, I don't know. That seems really weird to me too. So hopefully he responds back to Rick and we find out what happened. I'm noticing as I'm looking here, um, like my hair's got a green tint in this video, like kind of. I don't know why, but can you guys kind of see that a little bit, like in the back corners or something? It's kind of weird. Hmm. Okay. Usually we just ignore JS. Okay. So funny. I got two cats at home here, and my wife is currently out of town visiting my daughter, and I stay back because of work. And she's definitely more so the cat person than I am. I'll just leave it at that. But they tend to get up on her all the time. In the last few days, with her being gone, they've been uh, a bit clingy towards me. So, especially the one that's always like on my wife's lap. Um, he has actually been jumping on me the last day or two. So yeah, it's kind of like that, like what you're talking about with Milton sitting right next to you. He'll get on you, or he'll be like right up against you. And the funny thing is, like in bed at night, he's been sleeping on the bed in my wife's spot. So it's funny. Cats, I tell you. All right. So Thomas says after day only interviews, no roundtable. Okay. Well, if I know you did interview me once before, but if you want to interview me again, you definitely can. So JS is John Stud. Yeah. Yeah, that name just sounds familiar. I know this. Was there a wrestler like back in the 80s, Big John Stud? I wonder if that's where he got his name from. I don't know. Peter. Assume we're talking about Big John Stud there. All right. I think I am caught up on comments. John Spud. Oh boy, that's funny. YouTube Carnivore. Like you're talking about like the videos, the live stream, stuff like that. All right. Okay. So I'm caught up right now. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I can give you a Johnny update. I don't think I've had another update in the past week. So the last I heard, he was just getting ready to move. I know he hasn't put out any new videos on his channel, but you know, you'll probably, I'm sure every once in a while, he may not tonight, but every once in a while he jumps into the chat in a live stream and says hi to everybody and gives a quick update. So maybe that'll happen here in the next week or two. But I think he is literally like moving in the next week or two as well. So he might be really busy. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So good chat here so far tonight. It's kind of weird doing this live stream here by myself because I'm so used to having somebody with me and then I can ask them questions and so forth. And I don't have that right now. So, and I don't have the crazy drama that I had last week when I had the issue with the deer. I did have interesting situation though. We had our hot water tank, water heater, started acting up. It was leaking some water out of the top of it. And earlier today, the plumber got here and took a look at it, and he had to end up replacing the water heater. So that's another expense, another home repair. But anyway, it was leaking from inside, and it was getting everything pretty wet inside the tank too, like the insulation and stuff kind of near the electrical and stuff. So good that the electrical didn't get wet. But anyway, the electronics, I should say. But when they pulled it out, the back end of it was in really bad shape. Now this water heater is only 8 years old, but it was really messed up. And he's like, this water heater was definitely having a pressure problem and was getting ready to explode. Now, when they talk about explode, that means that basically it busts open and water just starts going everywhere. So it's not like, you know, huge explosion type thing, but you have water going everywhere. So luckily that didn't happen. But I had to replace the water heater today. So that was fun. Adulting, let me tell you. Having to pay for all home repairs all the time and stuff. Gets crazy. You know, Rick, I completely believe it because you probably know how to do all that stuff yourself. You're a very handy person. I wish I was as handy as you, let me tell you. Even half as handy as you. Oh, check this out. Peter bought roast duck at Costco today. Costco. Huh. Interesting. So now Rick's not the only one that's eating ducks. Oh, once you quack, you will not go back. Crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was no like air in our water when we turned our water on, so I'm not sure. But at like the seam of it in the back, it was all like I don't even know how to describe it, but it looked pretty messed up, like it was about to open up. I am an outcast. People see me as strange because I'm so tall and I only eat meat and eggs for the most part. People think I'm crazy. I get you there. My thing is I'm tall, but I'm not that thin yet. But yeah, people do look at you weird sometimes when they know that that's all you eat is meat and eggs. That's cool. Rick's water heater is a takeout from a job. So you probably put a new water heater in for them and repaired theirs to use it yourself, right? That's pretty cool. Thank you, Coach Edens. Yes, if you can, go ahead and hit the like button. One thing I'm noticing here is this new, what is this is called? Restream? Yeah, Restream is I don't see how to see how many people are on the live at one time. There's got to be a way to see it, but I don't see it. And we used to be able to tell that from StreamYard, but I got to get used to using this. StreamYard's just too expensive. Peter says the duck is pre-cooked, so all you have to do is reheat it in the oven and eat. Interesting. Yeah, it was definitely rusted in spots. Uncle Charlie says, "What is your full day of eating? I cut bacon and butter out, losing inches, not weight." So for me, I'm eating once a day for the most part. Occasionally, I'll have 2 meals. Usually, it's once a day, and I'm eating about probably about 2 pounds of beef. Um, Typical will probably be 2 pounds of ground beef or something like that, and then a little bit of fermented foods. It's not a lot, just a little bit of several different fermented foods that I use to dip my meat in, and that's for the good microbes and so forth. Um, and that's it. I'll eat that as my meal. Uh, Typically, I'm eating like 4 or 5 days a week, and then doing a fast. So I've been doing at least 72-hour fasts. So if I eat last on, let's say, Monday, don't eat Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll eat again on Thursday. That's a 72-hour fast. So there were 2 days that I didn't eat. And I've been doing that pretty consistently for the last few weeks. Yeah, Rick, that's what being a longtime carnivore will do for you, right? People look at him weird when they know his age. No gray hair at all at that age. Crazy. Uncle Charlie again says, I eat 1 pound of Wagyu beef from Costco and 6 eggs. Oh, mad. Okay. Not bad. Somewhat similar to me, except I'm eating a little bit more beef, but yeah. Went from 325 pounds to 180. That's pretty cool. Great job, Uncle Charlie. Sandy says 17 watching. Okay, thanks. Okay, I see it now. It's up at the top. There's this little thing that says 17. Okay, cool. Uncle Charlie's A1C was 18, now down to 5. So I'm assuming that's just 5.0 we're talking. That's pretty good. Tremendous job. Yeah, Rick says he eats 2 pounds of beef a week now. I know Rick eats a lot of chicken and pork because the beef is so much more expensive. Rick eats a lot more than I do in a day too, though. He's thinner than me. He is a little bit taller, but not by much, like maybe 2 pounds or 2 inches, I should say. But Rick eats a lot more than me. I eat like 2 pounds in a day. And I'm pretty sure the last time we talked, Rick, you were like 3 or 4 pounds of meat a day, right? Like usually 3 meals. Oh, that'll be interesting. Rick's got a 5-month-old jar of sauerkraut. Has it been opened? I wonder. Oh, that's cool. You know, so Peter says he saw ground beef on sale for $3.69 a pound the other day. I feel like ground beef has been getting cheaper lately, at least in terms of sales. There's been a lot of really good sales. I'm not going to complain. I wish it'd be even cheaper, but that's interesting. So, yeah. Hopefully that's a turn for the better, that we're going to start seeing some better prices. Ooh, gum surgery. That does not sound like that would be well, but that's a good time to fast. Yeah. Actually, $4.20 a pound is normally a pretty good price. Where I'm at, up until recently, the cheapest I ever could find it was for $4.99 a pound. But there's been places that have had sales for $3.99, and even this last weekend, one had it for $3.49. And then I know Peter's up in or down in Florida, but $3.69 he saw in his area of Florida. Miami's probably more expensive though, just because it's, bigger city area. Rick, last dentist visit was June of 1986. That's funny. Carrie Man was putting weight on from the bacon. I saw that video when he talked about that. So basically, he talked about something that I've kind of thought for a while too. He said that basically his wife would make bacon in the morning because she eats breakfast. And even though he wasn't hungry, he would go and eat bacon. And that was causing him to add a few pounds, a little bit more to his tummy because he was eating when he wasn't necessarily hungry. We always hear the thing is you can't overeat on the carnivore diet, can't gain weight on the carnivore diet. I think you can if you're not paying attention to your hunger signals and you're like, oh, I really like that food. It's there. Why not eat it? So, that's the key, is making sure you're only eating when you're truly hungry. And if you know, I should say there are some people maybe that like Rick, and I'm sure there's others that can eat pretty much all day and they don't gain weight. But most people, especially if they've been overweight before, actually can't do that. They have to just pay attention more to the hunger signals and only eat when they're hungry. And it was interesting that Carrie talked about that because I've noticed that myself, that sometimes I eat when I shouldn't and I wasn't necessarily hungry just because there was some good meat there. And I've been really strict about not doing that lately and just eating one meal a day and doing the fasting and so forth. And it's made a big difference for me. I can't say it's necessarily the bacon for Carrie Man. I think it's just him eating it when he wasn't necessarily hungry. Yes, I was talking about Rick, how much he eats. He says 4 to 6 pounds of meat a day over 3 meals. So he eats a lot more than me. I'm eating 1 meal, 2 pounds, basically. Sometimes it's closer to 1.5, but most of the time I think it's more like 2 pounds of beef a day. Uh, and I think Rick's talking about the sauerkraut here. I opened it when I made it. So be interesting to see how that goes if it's been there for 5 months after being opened. Yeah, Peter does always seem to have really come onto the chats and talk about finding great deals on different types of meat. He's really good at finding those. Okay, so Paul says he just bought the Relion A1C home test kit at Walmart. Interesting. I didn't know they had that. So you can actually test your A1C from home. Huh. That's very interesting. That's a good point, Peter. Carrie is pretty thin. Isabel got some ground beef for 4.87 a pound in Canadian dollars. I'm not sure what that comes out to in American. I'm not sure which dollar is stronger right now, Canada's or the US, because I know it flip flops at different times. Wow, Rick says $6 to $7 a pound in any supermarket. Peter says the last amazing sale I found was $7.99 a pound for a choice of either USDA choice ribeyes or New York strips, and I bought a bunch of them. That is pretty good. I saw a really good deal for New York strip not too long ago too. It was like eight like $8 or 8.19 a pound or something like that. And I thought that was pretty good. Because normally around me it's like 11.99 a pound. Yeah. Yeah, Rick, he says Carrie likes to be a bit click. Oh, okay. I'm back. I lost my connection there for a second. I don't know what happened. And I had to redo this chat thing for some reason. Oh, but anyway, yeah. Um, a lot of people do that with the clickbaity titles and so forth. I try not to do that. But I probably have had a few videos that were borderline. Not that I really did it, but to some extent. But yeah, I get it. Everybody wants more views. Donna Ray is eating sardines. So she's doing the pull-ups and now she's eating sardines. Wow. Well, more power to you. I Sardines aren't bad. They kind of taste a little bit like chicken to me, but the smell is just really strong. It's hard for me because of that smell. So I don't know. Sandy asks if there are any updates on the fawn. So the baby deer from last week. I don't know of any. I did look online, like on Facebook, because sometimes the sheriff's office lists stuff about rescues, animal rescues. Uh, the next morning, they had a thing in there about 3 bald eagles that they rescued, and it was the same lady that rescued the deer that night, last Wednesday night at my house, the fawn. Um, but there was nothing about the deer, so I don't know anything. I can tell you that the mama deer. So that was Wednesday night. Both Thursday and Friday, the mama deer kept coming back up towards the house a lot. And one point I saw her just kind of chilling in the grass. So I think at least at first she was waiting for her baby deer to come back, which was kind of sad. But as far as I know, she has been back since then, or she has. It was just because I couldn't tell compared to other deer, because there's been a couple times there's been 3 or 4 deer in the backyard at the same time just eating grass. But I knew each time that deer kept coming up to the house. Deer usually don't come up right up to the house. So I knew that was the mama deer. So I don't know. It's kind of sad, that the mama lost its baby, but hopefully the baby is going to be rehabilitated well and be able to go back out as its own adult. So thanks for asking about about an update. Oh, Peter had 5 eggs with Icelandic cod livers for breakfast. Wow. Interesting. My son-in-law the other night had swordfish. I forgot to ask him because he showed me a picture of it before he ate it. I forgot to ask him how it was. I've never had swordfish in my life either, so I don't know. Yes. None of us want to eat duck food. I agree, Rick. So Peter's talking about the cod liver, I think. Salty. Interesting. Alright. How can you say skinny? I don't know, Rick. I don't know. You're gonna have to start eating your pizza and heart attack cheeseburgers multiple times a day. I don't know, to try and gain weight. I don't know. Oh, that's interesting. Thomas had 4 carnivore breaded pork chops. Was that using the like pork rinds as a breading? I wonder, Thomas. Oops. Rick says I'm skinnier than Carrie Man. And he says you can see a pic with me and Carrie on the intro to my live stream. I got to pay attention to that because that's got to be funny because I don't think Carrie's that tall. And we all know, Rick, you're what, 6'6"? So you're a couple inches taller than me. That's got to be a funny picture. And we all wish that, Peter, that we could all be as skinny as Rick. Oh, this is nice. I don't have a Winn-Dixie by me, but Winn-Dixie ribeye sale. Oh, Paul talking about the A1C test unit. He got $17 per test. Very accurate. Good directions. Interesting. That's not bad. $17. Winn-Dixie has a weekend sale coming with ribeye. Why is my screen doing that? I don't know. Hold on a second here. There we go. No, that's weird. Okay, so with ribeyes or New York strips for $7.99 a pound, I'm gonna pick some up for sure. Yeah, that's a really good price. Okay, Isabel says 487 Canadian is 351 US. Okay, so the Canadian dollar is much stronger right now. So wow, that's a pretty good price then. 351 in the American dollar. Yes, here we go. Thomas says I made them with. So this is the what was the comment up earlier? Breaded pork chops. So he made the breading with panko pork rind crumbs, deep fried in lard and Fry Daddy. That sounds really good. Yes, I agree with Rick. Don't burn yourself, Thomas. Um, I don't really do deep frying. Rick says deep frying is so easy and tasty. I eat fried food every day. I haven't really gotten into doing it. Oh, I was talking about the swordfish earlier. Sandy says I used to grill shark and swordfish steaks. Nice. And Peter says he's had shark and swordfish. They taste very similar. I don't know what shark tastes like either, though. So I don't know. I haven't had shark. Rick had heart attack shrimp. So what's in your heart attack shrimp? What's on top of it? That's what I want to know. Yes. Rick does have Dr. Baker beat on the height. Oh, I didn't realize you're that tall, Peter. How tall are you? How tall? How tall is Dr. Baker? He's 6'5", right? I think. Uncle Charlie says I went on a cruise and ate 15 New York strip steaks. Are you saying 15 in one meal, or is that just throughout the time on the cruise? That seems like a lot for one meal, unless they're really small. Okay, Peter's 6'3". All right. I used to be 6'4", so I'm sticking with that. I'm 6'4". I may have shrunk a little bit though in my older age. I don't know. That's what my son tells me, but I think it's just that he got taller. So I'm around 6'4", somewhere in there. Yes, I remember. Rick, you might have been the one that was talking about this before, about the heart attack grill closing in Las Vegas. It definitely is. Okay, Rick's heart attack shrimp, battered shrimp with eggs and pork rinds, deep fried and pure lard. Sounds good. Yeah, I agree, Thomas. People talk about frying being bad. It's just what you're using. If you're using vegetable oil or something, then that's what's bad. So yeah, I agree. If you're using lard, tallow, whatever, it should be good. That would be awesome, Rick. Coronary Clucker's cooking video. Yeah, Dr. Baker is 6'5". Okay. Okay, Uncle Charlie, when we saw about the 15 New York strips, it was 3 a night. Okay. That's not bad. That's good. I went on a cruise once. One thing I noticed is that you can definitely eat carnivore there. You can get some pretty decent food. And if you don't get enough food at the dinner, which normally you can kind of ask for more, but if you don't get enough at like the sit down dinner place, you can go to the buffet and go there as much as you need to. And they usually have some decent stuff. Definitely like burgers that you can just do burger patties and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it was an interesting experience on the cruise. We did have one day where it was pretty choppy water, and that was a little unsettling the one day, but overall it wasn't too bad. Yeah, Rick says everyone I know gets heartburn from fried foods. He never has. I wonder if that's because of what it's being cooked in, though, like vegetable oil or peanut oil or something like that they're cooking it in. That would be interesting to know. Uh-oh, one of the cats is coming around me here. This could get interesting. That would be an interesting cruise, Rick. Rick's iguana cruise. That's funny. I have to assume that's pretty bad. 30-foot waves. There must have been a bad storm in the area, right? That seems like really bad waves. Wow. I know those cruise ships can be big, but that sounds crazy. All right, this cat is like rubbing all up against my leg. You can't see him, but maybe I should bring him up here. Here you go. Here's the crazy cat. Of course, he doesn't want to be seen. A little bit, sort of like Milton, a little bit. Little different. Probably similar attitudes, though. Yeah, I agree with that, Peter. Definitely depends on what you use to cook your fried foods. I only use animal fats. He says tallow, lard, or butter. Yep. Yeah, definitely those black and white cats. I tell you. And see, he didn't want to be up on my lap, but now he's like pushing up on my leg like crazy, going back and forth. The canal cruise, the Isabel's cruise, kind of cruise. I have to tell you, I've always thought that they're really expensive. It's not as bad as I thought. At least, I guess it depends on the place that you use for the cruises. But it is It is a little bit pricey. I went on one 2 years ago, I think, 2 summers ago. Um, so it was the first time I've ever been on a cruise. I don't know if I'll go on another one. We'll see. My wife will probably say yes, we will be at some point, but they are a little expensive. I don't think there's going to be really any real vacations this year, with a wedding coming up and again in the fall here, so to pay for. Hey, Bill is here. Good to see you in the comments, Bill. All right. Think I am caught up on comments. This cat is starting to drive me nuts, wanting attention. That's the thing. I've always been a dog person more so than a cat, right? Most of my life we've had dogs, and dogs are a little bit different than cats in that they don't seem to require your attention as much. Now, I will say cats don't need as much help, it seems like you can, at least with our cats, you don't have to take them outside and stuff. They got litter boxes. We got this food thing that we fill up every day or two, and it just eats whenever it needs to. And dog, you have to feed them certain times or whatever, and otherwise they'll just keep eating all that kind of stuff. And you got to take them out. And, sorry, my microphone's messing up. You got to take them out and stuff like that. But man, the cats just seem to always want attention. That's the thing that I notice. They always want to be on your lap or wanting you pet them or something. And the dogs don't seem to be as much. I don't know. They're more content with just sitting there next to you or something. Let's see. Oh, Rick. Poor Rick. Or you would get on the vegan cruise. Only salads today. Sorry. All right. All right. So it's been about an hour. And this cat is driving me nuts. So I think I'm gonna kind of call it a live stream for tonight. I'll be back next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Probably gonna try and get somebody on the channel with me, which will be another experience with this new app because I haven't had somebody on the channel with me at the same time. So that'll be interesting. But we'll see how that goes. Oh wait, what's Rick saying about the vegan cruise? The vegan cruise would sail off if I tried to get high. They'd be like, no, not that guy. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it an evening. And I'll see you guys all again next weekend. Hopefully, I'll be able to watch some of the other live streams and get in and chat with you guys and some of the